What's this? Another bonus episode? It certainly is. John Hamilton is 101 years old. He fought at Dunkirk, shared a dormitory with Roald Dahl, and he still goes to the gym 5 times a week. Here he is with James.
I'm at the Chalk Valley History Festival in southwest Wiltshire. I'm actually in my home village of Broad Chalk.
Yeah.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful sunny day. And I'm sitting here with John Hamilton, who is 101 no less, but looks at least 30 years younger, is fit as a fiddle, and has the most extraordinary exercise regime, which we're just about to go through, aren't we, John? John, obviously, we've been talking before the recording button pressed go. And one of the things that I was really impressed with is the fact that you're 101, you don't look anything like it, and you have a pretty vigorous exercise regime.
I do.
Every day?
5 days a week, 2 hours.
Yep. And what's your start time?
My start time is 7:30.
Yep. And what's the routine then?
The routine is, first of all, 15 minutes on the treadmill.
Yep. Just to get everything going?
3 miles an hour.
Yeah, 3 miles an hour, yep.
And I break into a trot on there, actually.
Do you?
Yes, I break into a little, or just to vary the pace.
Yes.
Then onto the bike.
Right.
Now, the bike is half an hour.
Just solid pedalling for half an hour?
Solid pedaling, and it's the time, it's the distance. I'm going at about, I don't know what miles an hour. What I'm interested in is what time I'm doing. It's half an hour.
Yep.
And I'm doing 3.5 miles.
Right.
So add that up with the treadmill.
Yep.
My legs have been exercised.
Yes.
Where do I go next? The rowing machine.
The rowing machine?
Now, when I was 95,
Yep.
I established a world record.
Really?
For my age group.
Yep.
Which was 95 to 100.
Yep.
95-year-old did 1,000 meters in 4 minutes, 23 seconds.
Goodness me, I don't know I could do that now.
When I was in the gym yesterday, my usual time,
Yep.
8 minutes. So you see, from 95 to 101.
Yes, but you have just had quite a big fall and clunked your head and hurt your side. In the...
That made a difference. Now from there,
Yep.
I then start on the sit-ups. So what I do is I sit down the machine, the weights,
Yep.
and 35 milligrams pull.
Yep.
Pull. So I do 12 of those.
Yeah.
Then I put my hands there and I do sit-ups. I do 20 of those. 3 repetitions.
Right.
Then I go to a machine which the arm's out. This is about 5, 10, 15, 20. This is 30 pounds, whatever. So I do that.
And I should say that I just described that at the moment you are actually sort of doing the exercises, which you might not hear. Why you might not hear you on the microphone.
I've got 2 arms
Yep.
ahead of me, and what I do is from there.
Wow.
Then I go to a machine where I'm pushing down. Oh yes. Now I do 24 press-ups.
Oh my goodness. Really?
Now, what I do is, there's a bench.
Yeah.
It's not on the floor, there's a bench. Legs up behind me. I'm down, up, down, so 24.
Yeah.
Then I go to a machine that I hold the grips and I press. The weights I'm pulling down, I'm pushing down, the muscles pushing down. I've done that. Now, I go to my floor exercises. Now, there is a machine in the gym, sorry, I'm out there. A machine in the gym, which you lie on your back and pull it forward.
Yeah, I know the one.
You know the one?
Yep.
When I start off, I do 100.
Right.
I do 50 with my legs on the ground, and
Yeah.
I raise my legs up and do another 50. So that's 100.
Goodness. Yeah.
Then I do stretching exercises.
Right.
My legs up, legs down. Back to 100.
Yeah.
The next exercise I do is I cross my legs like that, put it on the ground, either side, like that. Right?
Yeah, I know that one. Yep. Yep.
Then I do another 100. Then I push my legs out like that. Oh, like that, both legs. Oh.
Yeah.
Then I do another 100. Then to finish up, I do, with my legs together, on the floor, either side, 50. Then another 100. That's 400. Oh, the last machine I go to, Oh, this is another weight machine. This is 5, 50, 25, 30, this is 40 pounds. This is a... Oh.
Right, I sort of pull towards you.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's it.
That's it. So by this time it's 9:30.
9:30.
And it's time to go home.
Time to go home.
And you're ready for the rigours of the day.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And that is 5 days a week.
That's absolutely. So which days do you have off?
Only Saturday and Sunday. And I'm bored to hell.
Oh, you miss
Because,
it.
you know, I live on my own, so I just lounge. Well, I don't. I get out and have a walk because, you know, I don't.
Well, that's just that is hugely impressive. And if you're 101, that means you were born before the end of the First World War.
I was born on the 28th of April 1918.
So just after the attack on Arras.
6 months before war ended.
Yeah, amazing.
Yep.
So you grew up in the 1920s and 1930s,
Yes.
and you went to school with Roald Dahl.
I did.
And he was your
Roald and I
dorm
were
captain.
Great friends. We were great friends.
Yeah. So did he tell stories?
Yes. This is the great thing. We were in the dormitory in the same bed next to each other. And he asked me, and he said, we used to call each other our surnames, and it was Hamilton.
Yeah.
Hamilton, do you know any ghost stories? I said, not really. I said, do you? He said, oh, yes. And he started. And that's how we got to know each other.
How
and the
amazing.
sad thing is, after the war, we never saw each other again.
Did he
He
not?
became a fighter pilot.
He did. He flew Hurricanes on
He
Greece.
did indeed.
Clonked his head really
But
badly.
he wrote, I have read several of his books. One particular book, what is it about?
Going Solo is his autobiography.
Yes. What was the book that he wrote about? What about ghosts, about situations where people got themselves...
Oh, I can't remember. There was a Tales of the Unexpected, wasn't there? Or-
Ah, that's the one.
Yes.
I was asked to read one of his stories. It took about 20 minutes. They were short stories. His
Yeah.
book was short. Tales of the Unexpected. I got his book,
Yeah.
and they asked me if I'd read to an audience in the library.
Right.
I read several of his books. And then I was on the local radio,
Right.
and I read on radio too.
Yeah.
Wonderful stories.
How brilliant. That's just an incredible story.
Yep.
And then the other story that you told me, which I thought was amazing, was that you first went to Lord's in 1932.
I did.
And Dennis Compton handed you out at a programme when he was
Dennis
a junior...
Compton handed me a scorecard before he actually was in the Middlesex team. He was just
Working on the MCC staff or something.
I presume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. And Patsy Hendren was your coach.
I went to Selfridges, and Patsy Hendren had a school for young boys up on the top floor of Selfridges, and he coached me in cricket. I loved it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then you saw Headley Verity bowl.
Oh, I said, Lord,
Goodness.
what a bowler!
What a bowler.
What a bowler!
And mortally
But I
wounded
saw
on
them
Sicily.
all. I saw Larwood bowling.
Did you?
Saw Tate.
No. Well, I'm
And
jealous.
and slow bowlers, of course, because I was a slow bowler, an off-break bowler.
Oh, were you?
And of course, there was a wonderful off-break bowler who got all 10 wickets. Of his name now, you'll know it.
Jim Laker.
That's right, Jim Laker.
Do you see Bradman?
Yes,
No.
at the Oval.
Really?
At the Oval, I forget which. My father was a county cricketer before the war. Before the First World War.
Yes, you said for
That's right. He's a member
So
of
you
the,
probably spent a bit of time at the
He's a member
Oval.
of the MCC. He played for the Zingari.
Yes.
Played for the Free Foresters.
Yeah.
And played for another club, I forget which. But there was a magazine called The Cricketer which came out.
Yes, still is. Still there.
Is it still there?
Still going.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yep.
Amazing. Anyway, listen, I want to talk to you about Dunkirk because I know
Yes,
you were
right.
there.
Yeah,
So
sure.
you joined an anti-aircraft unit,
I joined the aircraft unit TA in 1937.
right?
Our gun was a 3-inch.
Yes. Which was a precursor to the 3.7 inch.
Absolutely, because of that. And
Pretty good gun?
It was at the White City.
Yep.
There were 6 of us. We joined from the rugby club. I was a member of Roslyn Park.
Yes.
I played one of
Yeah.
the teams, Roslyn Park. And we joined on that. And then the war came, 1939, and we were off. We were in France on the 15th of September.
Were you really?
Yes.
Straight out there.
And we were on the outskirts of Arras,
Yep.
in farm buildings, in barns.
Yes, because of course, because the British Expeditionary Force was in France because no French or British troops were allowed
No.
to go into Belgium at that
Because
point.
it was Belgium.
Because they were neutral.
And of course, on the 10th of May,
Yes, everything
when
changes.
the 2 Panzer divisions with Guderian,
Yes.
he was a great general.
Yeah, he was.
General. And of course, the French army was twice the size.
Yeah.
But half as good.
Yeah.
They weren't as well. They weren't
Yeah.
as well led.
You're absolutely right. I've written about this at some length.
The only thing that held them up, I think, I can't remember which, rivers it was. But the crossing took a bit of time.
Yeah, well, it was the River Meuse they had to get across, but they managed to do it in one day.
The French tank was pretty useless too. I forget what they had.
Well, they were big. They had the Charbis and the Samoas.
Yeah. I forget. Anyway, yeah.
But anyway, so you were there. So you did you stay in Arras or did you move up once the rest of the
what
BEF
happened
moved
was that we were ordered about the 20th, I think, when Calais had fallen.
Yes.
Boulogne had fallen, the Germans. Only Dunkirk was left as a port. So we from Arras were told, get to Dunkirk as quickly as you can, because the Luftwaffe have started bombing the hell out of Dunkirk.
So were you actually in Dunkirk town itself or on the edges?
No, on the edges.
So no, were you near Burgoo? You know, the town on the edge of...
I don't, no.
You can't remember that?
No, we were on the edge of Dunkirk. We went into action...
Right on the edge of the city?
Now,
Edge of the
there
town?
would be about 3 sorties a day from them. Mainly Stuka.
Yes.
I've told you about the dive bomber, haven't I?
Yeah, but tell me again.
Well, I'll tell you again. The Stuka carries a 250-pound bomb.
Yep.
It bombs by vertical.
Yes.
From 50,000 feet.
Yep.
It dives, there's a siren.
Yes, the Jericho
Which
trumpet.
frightens the hell out of you.
Yeah, that's sort of the wailing noise.
That's right, the wailing noise.
Yeah.
It dives to 1,500 feet. The bomb is released. It pulls out. Now that is when that plane is vulnerable.
Yes, because it comes down and it just
comes down. As it goes up,
doesn't it? Yeah.
and I shot down 3. I was in the gunner's seat, so I know
Really? You saw
because
it?
I was aiming. The
And
predictor,
what happens when you shoot? Do you hit off a wing or does the whole thing just blow up? I mean, what happens?
Well, I think because rather like game shooting, the cartridge or the shell spread.
Right.
And that's what caught so the plane actually caught fire.
Did it? And then you just saw it just go...
Yeah, I was sure it just go down. Absolutely.
And what's the feeling when that happens? Is there a feeling of exhilaration that yes, you've got one, or do you? I mean, is it a bit like sort of shooting a pheasant, or is it? I mean, or are you thinking this is the bloody business of war, or is it kind of people's?
It's a strange thing. I can't remember what my feelings were. All I know was one thing I wasn't the whole time at Dunkirk. I never felt fright.
Did you not?
I felt apprehension. I don't know, perhaps fate will decide whether I come through this.
Right, okay.
When we got on the beach, in the sand dunes, now the sand dunes were the place to be.
So when did you go onto the beach? So you have to abandon your
Well,
gun.
what happened
Do you have to
was-
spike it?
The strange thing was this. Orders came from one officer to another. The original order was, send the wounded back onto the beach to be picked up.
Yep.
Send the wounded. Nothing about stop firing.
No.
But he got it wrong. The order we got was destroy the guns, spike them,
So what do you do? Put a
and get
grenade
on the
down or
beach.
something?
Yes, we blew them up. Got on the beach. Long queue, about half a mile long, I suppose.
And what was Dunkirk town like when you were walking
Ruined.
through?
Absolutely, they bombed the hell out of it. But you know what saved us on the beach? The perimeter. Because this perimeter was 25 miles long,
Yep.
covering Dunkirk and the beach.
Yep.
8 miles deep. So it was a semicircle. And manning it, defending it,
Well, these infantry battalions, weren't they?
battalions,
Yep.
God, including coastal guards. I think it was the coastal guards. One of many battalions there. And they were sacrificing them so that we
Could get away.
could get out. Those of us who were in the dunes were well disciplined, well behaved.
Right.
But I told you about the incident where a group of men came out of the town.
Yeah.
They'd been after food and drink from the bombed pubs and restaurants.
Yeah.
And they came on the beach, they passed, we were along the beach, they started walking up towards the front. An officer got up and he confronted them. And I forget the leading man, there were some words exchanged, I couldn't hear what it was. Whatever happened, the next thing was he drew his pistol, drew his revolver.
Who the officer did?
Yes, he was an officer. And obviously, to shoot you. There was a moment's hesitation. I think he would have shot him.
Goodness
But
me.
anyway, it worked. He turned around and they went to the back.
There's a very famous painting of the Dunkirk scene, and you see the kind of sort of oily smoke rising up from
Yes,
the burning
yes.
things. You see clouds. You see
Those
absolute.
were the oil
Was that what it was
tanks.
like?
The
I know,
oil
but
tanks.
can you remember that? I mean, can
Yes,
you? And
well,
you
I
must have
remember it
smelt
well.
it in the air, didn't
The
you?
smoke in the air from those bombed oil tanks.
And what
God.
were you all thinking? I mean, were you thinking this was the end of the war, or did you think,
Well, I can't remember what I was thinking.
you know?
I really can't, I don't know.
No. But you were still quite calm, were you?
I was quite calm, yes. We all were. Because, the thing was that it was a Sunday, and the Padre, I forget which Padre it was, but anyway, he came to a group of us. He said, boys, let's have a service, shall we? He said, it'll just be a prayer and a hymn. So we all said, yes. And he had a prayer. For those men, we were praying for the welfare of those men who were on the perimeter,
Yep.
defending us on the beach.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
That must have been Sunday the 26th of May.
Well, whatever it was. And then he said, and what hymn should we sing? Did everybody know the words? And I said, what about, oh God, I hope in ages past.
Brilliant.
He said, you know the words? I said, yes. Oh God, I hope in ages past. I hope for years to come. I'll shelter from the stormy blast and our eternal home. And we sang.
You sang it?
And that somehow lifted us.
Did it?
The feeling.
Yeah.
And on we went.
How interesting.
And when we got to the top of the queue, God, these wounded men lying on stretchers. So one of the medical orderlies addressed us and said, would any of you volunteer with these stretchers? We ought to take them to the first aid post. I went forward.
Yep.
And 5 others.
God,
went.
good
And
for
between
you.
us for an hour, backwards and forwards with these
Yep.
stretchers. We were still at the front of the queue. So when the word came from the beachmaster, right, run for the jetty, for the mole, a Stuka attack came in. And on the beach,
Yep.
between us and the mole, were a number of bomb craters.
Right.
We dived into a bomb crater,
Yeah.
and as we did, the noise, this terrible, terrifying,
Yeah.
sour noise hit us. We were there, and the bomb landed there. We dug ourselves out of sand.
Amazing.
And I thought, my God, we are alive.
Yeah.
I was as deaf as a post there.
Were you?
And then the brief run, and we ran up the mole and onto the.
And you got onto destroyer, didn't
We
you?
got onto, first of all, it was a trawler,
Right.
and there must have been about 60 of us.
Yeah.
Piled onto it, took us out to a destroyer.
Which is waiting offshore.
I remember the mate was waiting off us. Got us to do it.
And did you get attacked on the way back?
No, we didn't.
You didn't. So you had
We
a
didn't.
clip us
There
back.
was, again, we were lucky. There was a lull in the bombing, and
Right.
it was in that lull that we got going.
Great.
Because later on, after we got free, that mole was bomb damaged. Because from the air, you just got a thin. Most of the bombing had gone into the harbour. Although they didn't actually hit the mole, they did eventually hit the mole.
Yeah.
But there were a hell of a lot of misses. So
And you got back.
got back.
Lived to fight another day.
Exactly.
Well, that's just incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
I take my hat off to you
That's
and
very
your
good.
exercise
James,
routine.
That's very kind of you.